Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to DonnyBoy13's channel, and we're back today with a new series coming to this channel. It's a series that I'm going to be calling Transfer Team, and basically this is episode 1. As you see in the top corner, we are managing Watford, but that will only be for the part of this series, because hopefully I'm going to do it with majority of the teams around England. So there's going to be quite a few different teams that I plan on doing this series with, because there should be quite short, quick series. Basically, the idea behind this series: any transfer offer that comes in for one of my players, I have to accept. Anything at all, literally, an offer comes in, I accept it. But the only way I'm allowed to sign players is there is 3 ways that I'm allowed to sign players. 1, they get traded to me as part of a sale, because that can happen this year. 2 is I get them on contract, so when they run out of contract I can offer them the new contracts to get them to come in at the end of the year. And 3, they are put on the transfer list. They are the only 3 ways I can sign players. Oh, and also I am gonna have one youth scout sent out every year with every team. Just the scout that you get at the start of the game. I'm not going to sign a good one or anything. I'm just going to use the one that is there to begin with, and we'll get some youth players in. Might not be using too many of them, obviously, depends how far the series goes. But yeah, let's get straight into this first one. I've already set up certain parts of it. So we have the team set up, how I would be playing it. We have the scouting set up, just looking for players on last year of their contracts. We have a youth staff member sent out, just the guy who was here at the start, which luckily for Watford was a very good one. I've just sent him to England, and we got three youth players already in the youth system, so that's very good indeed. We've got 30 million to begin with, which is always a good number, always a good bit to start with. I mean, I'm definitely going to end up getting more, because all of my players are listed for transfer, so we'll have to see what sort of deals come in for them. And every single game in this series is going to be simmed until we get to either a Champions League final, or maybe like a FA Cup final, anything like that. I will come in and maybe show you parts of the final of those sort of major tournaments. But other than that, we're just going to see how far we can take Watford in maybe 5 years or so. So we'll just get straight into it. So the first transfer offers come in for the season, and of course it's Christian Cabasele, the main man for Watford, and it's from AS Monaco. So we are accepting 6.2 for Cabasele. With Cabasele being on his way out of the door, I thought I'd come in and have a look at all the players currently transfer listed. More get added through the season, obviously, but there's a few names here that I definitely want to have a look at. Ranocchia being one. Maybe this Ragazzu guy looks pretty good. David Martin potentially, if we're desperate for a goalkeeper. This Palomino guy looks pretty good actually. He could be definitely a player to come in. Condro and Mitroglou potentially. What else we got? Lee Gregory, maybe not. This Frediani guy, because I do actually need a left winger. And then Mariano is probably the best player on the transfer list currently, so they're the sort of players we're looking at the moment. Okay, transfer offer number 2 come in for Navarro from SC Braga for 4.35 million. I'll accept that, because I have to. Third offer of the series, it's Bristol City trying to take Isaac's Success from me, and of course I have to accept 3.6 million. I do actually like Success. I think he would have been brilliant for us, but he has to go. Okay, and we've got our first signing in, and it's Mitroglou from Olympique Marseille. He's definitely going to come in and probably be a backup for my main striker, being just a 73 rated and older man that he is, but he's definitely got the sort of stats that could come in and be a big difference for us in certain games, so we'll have to see how he goes. Okay, so after paying 2.2 million on a backup striker, we've paid 4.4 for probably what will be our starting centre back in Palomino coming into the team. 76 rated coming in, very very good player, looks to be anyway. Oh, we paid 4.5 in the end for him. Still cheaper than what he was worth, his value. And young lad Daniel Phillips going out the door to St Mirren. Quickly followed by Nathaniel Chalobah going to FC Porto, big move for him for 5.6, and Stipe Perica going to Stade Reims for 2.85. And that is us out of the pre-season tournament at the quickest possible time of being so, as Roma put the final nail in the coffin after a loss to Wolfsburg and Sassuolo, I believe. I can't remember who the other one was to, but not very good start for us. Cathcart now being offered the move to Ajax for 3 million. Big move for Cathcart there, he's getting accepted. And with Cathcart going out the door, I felt it was time to get in a centre back to replace him, and that man is Andrea Ranocchia, or Ranocchia. 74 rated from Inter Milan, paid what did I pay? 1.6 million for him, so a bit of a bargain really, and he was the best available centre back on the transfer market, so we're doing quite well there to replace Cathcart with Ranocchia. Okay, we have two more transfer offers now. We've got Spurs coming in for Ben Wilmot at 1.7 million. Good move for Ben Wilmot there, going up the league to join Tottenham Hotspur. And then Tom Cleverley being offered 5.6 million to go to RC Strasbourg. Well done to Tom Cleverley there. Now we have an offer from Norwich for Daniel Bachmann, the Austrian goalkeeper that's probably our backup at the moment. 1.7 million, he's going to Norwich City. Okay, and then our next signing we have made is a man named Steven Skrzybski, potentially. 27-year-old German, coming from Schalke. 71 rated, striker, right midfielder. I think he's going to do well for us. We have an offer in from KAA Gent for Daryl Janmat. 3.95 million is accepted. Okay, and we got another offer here. We've got William Troost Ekong going back to Italy, back to Udinese for £3.8 million. And that's followed up by the biggest number of money we've seen thus far for Etienne Capoue, and Espanola offering 10.7 million. Now we have another offer for Kiko Femenia going to Ajax to join up with Cathcart once again for 6 million. Okay, and that brings us to our first game in the league, and we are taking on Stoke City. Our team currently: Ben Foster in goal, Ngakia at right back, Ranocchia, Palomino, Messina, Will Hughes, Quina, Sarr, Deeney, Gray and João Pedro up front. Let's see if we can get a victory in our first game. I really hope we can, although I think it is going to be a struggle. Let's see how we do. We managed to pull out a 2-0 victory. What a start to the series that is. I'm not going to show you every game like this. I'm just going to show you probably halfway through the season, then at the end, just to show you where we're sat in the league. But that's a great start for this series. Oh no, this is the one I was worried about. The star player of the team, the highest rated player, Ismail Sarr, going to Braga. 28.4 million pounds coming this way, but that's a big pair of shoes to fill in the Watford team. So we just saw a big player leave in Ismail Sarr, and I've gone out and replaced him with a big player of our own. It's Mariano coming in, the best player available from the transfer list. 77 rated striker, 27 years of age, from Real Madrid, only paying 11.5 million for this man. I think that he's going to be an absolute superstar for us. And then also went and got Jed Steer to play as our backup goalkeeper now that we do not have Bachmann. So let's see if they two can hit the ground running. We have another transfer offer, this time from PSV Eindhoven for Ken Semmer. 3.6 million, gladly accepted for the 73 rated player. We've made ourselves another signing, and it is Danilo D'Ambrosio from Inter Milan, the 77 rated defender who can play all across the defence, coming in for just 5.2 million. I think that's going to be an absolutely brilliant signing for us. Definitely need a bit of help in the defence, as most of our defenders now have left the club. I think he's going to be very, very good for us in the long run. A problem I'm noticing that we're having, obviously, with a lot of players going out, not too many coming in. My squad is becoming extremely thin, so I'm going to be promoting some of these youth players that I can. Not many of them are going to get much game time to begin with. This Sebastian Lee guy might get in there at certain points because he's definitely good enough to make his way into my team with those 5-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot, 67 rated at the age of just 17. He could definitely be a superstar for us in the future. But the rest of these guys probably not going to see the light of day. They're just there to fill up the numbers. Here's another one of our main players, Will Hughes, going to Fenerbahce for £10.7 million. He's probably the last big name we've got other than perhaps Troy Deeney, so it's sad to see him go, but you're going to have to try and replace him somehow. We needed to replace Will Hughes, and I believe we've done just that with this man, Danny Drinkwater. The minute I saw he was on the transfer list, I knew I wanted him. We did definitely pay over the amount that he's probably worth, where I paid 7 million. Didn't realise he's only a 73 rated, didn't realise he was only worth about 2.6. So I think I might have cost myself a bit of money there, but all in all, I think he's going to be a good, solid midfielder for us. Also signed another midfielder by the name of Jan George for 600k from a German team that I can't remember the name right now, but 67 rated, 28-year-old, not too bad. And then finally we signed Rafael Silva, the 73 rated striker, left wing, right wing, anywhere across the front three he can play, from a Chinese league team he came from. And I think he's going to be very good for us also, the 28-year-old. We signed him for just $2,050,000. Now, there's an offer that I was not looking forward to. He's our last remaining our central defender from the original squad. I will only have 2 centre-backs when this man goes, but 3.35, and he's going to Sporting Lisbon. Craig Dawson, goodbye. And so, with Cathcart on his way out of the door, he's passing this man, Alan Emperor, on his way in. The 67 rated 26-year-old coming in from Hellas Verona for just 850k. I think that's going to be a good signing as a backup, especially for our 2 main centre backs, and I think he's going to be worth it in the end. So there we go. Oh no, this is one I was not looking forward to. This man's been the one really carrying us so far this season. Andre Gray being offered from Stuttgart 4.4 million. It has to be accepted, and I'm gonna miss this guy. So a bit of news on the Andre Gray situation. The accepted 4.4 million offer from Stuttgart, he rejected the contract. However, we then had Frankfurt come in for a loan, which I also accepted. I don't know if I'm going to be doing where I have to accept every loan, but I did for this one. And he potentially will be going there for the season instead. There you have it. Andre Gray loaned out to Frankfurt for the season. Will be returning next season when we hopefully will be in the Premier League. But for now, he is no longer a Watford player. Here we have another offer. There can't be many players left from the original squad, I wouldn't have thought, but this one for Adam Messina coming in from Galatasaray. And the offer is for 6.7 million, and Messina is on his way to Galatasaray. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just got the biggest signing we've made thus far. Shokdran Mustafi from Arsenal got transfer listed, and we've brought him in. 10.5 million was all he cost us. 78 rated, 28-year-old defender, centre back, sorted for a little while at least for the Watford team. We've also brought in Tendai Darikwa, the 71 rated right back from Nottingham Forest, 21 years of age, for just the £1 million. So 2 big defensive upgrades there for us. Hopefully going to help us out a lot, especially Mustafi, one of the best players we've seen on the transfer list thus far. Let's see how he does for us, I suppose. Okay, here we go. This is a bit new for this series so far. So, Ben Foster, an offer. You see there, 30,000? No way. But if you see in that right hand side, it says swap deal. Espanyol are offering 30,000 plus this 19-year-old cam, Nico Melamed. 64 rated, not really very good, but it's the series where I have to accept things. So, looks like he's coming to the club and we're going to have to find ourselves a new goalkeeper. So, transfer deadline day is here and I've made 2 signings on the deadline day, and they are 2 goalkeepers. We've got David Martin coming in from West Ham for £100,000. 34 years old, basically there to be a backup. Same with Antonio Donnarumma, not the Donnarumma you're probably thinking of. We paid 400k for him. I did think he was going to be a bit higher rated than a 66, not going to lie. But he's there. He will probably be a backup to Steer also. But I think he'll probably be able to do a job if I needed him too. So there we go. We've got goalkeepers now that Foster's gone. Let's just hope that we've got a strong enough team to take us through to the end of, to the next transfer window at least, and be somewhere near the top of the table. Okay, late on deadline day and a bit of pretty disastrous business for Watford. Troy Deeney being offered the move to go to Istanbul Başakşehir for 5.2 million, and he most likely will do if the transfer goes through in time. I really hope it doesn't, because Troy Deeney is a Watford legend and we all know it, and I want him to be around for a little bit longer. However, I have to accept it. Now João Pedro late on in the day getting offered from Manchester City. 3.4 million for the young 18-year-old player, who definitely should get more money for me. However, I have to accept it. Manchester City getting an absolute bargain there. João Pedro for £3.4 million. And the last bit of business I think we're going to have going out this deadline day is Domingos Quina going to Sevilla for 2.6 million. That's a bit of a blow because he's a good young midfielder for my squad. So I'm hoping I've got time to bring in somebody to replace him. Otherwise I could be in a spot of trouble. But it's accepted. Okay, and definitely the final pieces of business for this transfer window. Mehdi Barabia coming in for 900,000 from Sassuolo. We've got Giovanni Dinola coming in for 550,000 from Chievo. And then we've got Jose Martinez, the centre-back, coming in from Eibar for £1 million. That's all the dealings that's going to be done this transfer window. Then guys, so we're at the halfway stage. 23 games of our 46 game season played. We are currently sat second in the table. 19 wins, 3 draws and 1 loss, just behind Bournemouth. They're sat on 61 points. We are on 60. So we're doing very, very well for the season so far. Hopefully we can keep this up. Goal scoring wise, let's take a look at the squad, see how everybody's doing. So goals are coming from Mariano with 9 goals in his 22 appearances. Not bad at all. 8 goals from Rafael Silva, 7 from Skrzybski, 4 from Glenn Murray, 2 from Ambrosio, 1 Mustafi, 1 from Drinkwater, 1 from George, 1 from Mitroglou, 1 from Deli Basharu. Not too many goals all over the place. And then assists. Who's getting us all the assists? It's Drinkwater currently with 7 assists. Very, very good there. And then how are we doing defensively? Not too bad. Steer keeping 11 clean sheets out of a possible 18. I think that's very, very good for him. So I think we're on the right track, definitely. Definitely. I wonder where Mariano is sat in the standings. Currently joint second, although it says 7th there. I think he's got a very good chance of being in the running for that Golden Boot come end of the season. But for now, we're going to just go straight in, and I'll see you come January for the start of the transfer window. So I've had a little scout around the players low on contract, and I've gone for 5 of them. I've got Milik agreed for just £52,000. I think that £52,000 a year. I think that is ridiculously good for a player who, even in the Premier League, will be one of the best strikers. I think he will really, really help us, especially if we do get up there. Even if not, he's gonna definitely get us up there after next season. We got Nicholas Nkulu for £35,000 a year, 80 rated centre back from Torino. Got Stevan Jovetic, 31 years old, 76 rated, just going to be a solid player for us. And we've got a bit of experience with Olivier Giroud and Fernandinho, both also agreeing to come in for 55,000 and 60,000 respectively. So we're definitely going to have some experience coming into the squad. We're definitely going to have some quality coming into the squad. Just depends whether we're going to be in this division or the Premier Division come next season. More pre-contract signings made. Jamie Patterson from Bristol City, Junior Hoylett from Cardiff City, and Carl Bartley from West Brom, all agreeing to join us for next season. Here we go then. So it's Sebastian Lee, the very, very good, very highly rated youngster, the 17-year-old, 68 rated already. He's being offered a loan to join Bournemouth for 2 years. The team that is fighting me for the title, and I'm going to allow him to go there because I think he might actually get game time. Because I know they've sold Josh King, I know they've sold Solanke, he might be their superstar striker then. Their starting striker, and if he can get them to the Premier League, that's going to do his overall wonders. So let's see how he does there. Then, and finally, for this transfer window, Albin Ekdal signing a pre-contract agreement. Although the window is now going to be closed, I can still sign pre-contract agreements with players, so this might not be the last signing we see this episode. So I'm nowhere near any transfer window, but I've just got a transfer offer from FC Emmen for Francisco Sierralta. So obviously I'm going to accept it. I don't know when it's going to go through, probably at the start of next season. But yeah, he's gone. Hey guys, we've got 4 more players coming in on pre-contracts. We've got Nils Korber, the player I'm hoping will be our new starting goalkeeper for us for next season. We've got Ryan Bennett from Wolves, Kevin Long from Burnley, and Rolando Aronson Newcastle. 3 players, probably all going to be backups, probably not going to see too much game time, but they're there. Here we are guys, with 3 games before the end of the season, currently sat 11 points above what Norwich are, therefore we are promoted. We are currently 13 points behind Bournemouth, so we can't go up either. So this is our final position, is going to be 2nd in this year's championship. Yeah, I think that's not too bad. Obviously I was aiming for title winning, however 2nd obviously still going up, still getting to the Premier League with the team that I've got, with players only from transfer listed players and obviously traded and whatever else to players. I think this is a very, very impressive feat, to be perfectly honest with you. The fact that I've managed to get to Premier League. The more impressive feat now is next season be able to stay in the Premier League and hopefully progress on and potentially get Europa League football, potentially even get Champions League football, potentially fight for the title. It's just something that we'll have to keep an eye on. And here I believe we have the final player that was originally at the club leaving us, Jeremy Ngakia, going to Trabzonspor for £2.8 million. And the final game of the season is over. We've won it 3-1 against Cardiff City. Great season for us. Just going to go through some of it with you now. So obviously let's have a look at the league table. Bournemouth pulled far too far ahead for me. They beat me twice and that really put us at the end. We were never going to catch them up because we couldn't play them. We lost 5 games out of the whole season. That's really, really impressive, but not impressive enough to get that top spot. Let's have a look for top goal scorers. Mariano coming 6th in the race with 16 goals. Danjuma Groenveld for Bournemouth getting the top spot with 21 goals. Let's have a look at my club individually for their stats. So our top goal scorer for the season, I would imagine, will be Mariano. And it is Mariano with 16 goals. Then we've got Rafael Silva just behind on 14. We've got Skazibski on 10. Glenn Murray getting a cool 8 to the 37-year-old. Mustafi getting 7 from defence. Ambrosio 3. Drinkwater. George Mitroglou also 3. Derek Watt 2. And then Maranokia, Martinez, Dele Basharu all getting just the 1. And then we've got the assists totals, and it's of course Danny Drinkwater topping that with 11 assists. Rafael Silva getting 8 of his own, so he had a very good season with 14 and 8. We have 6 assists for Barabia. We have 4 assists for Mustafi from defence, 7 and 4 from central defence. Very impressive. 4 for Skazibski and Mariano, then 1 for Derekwa, Melamed and George. And not too bad defensively either, I don't think. Jed Steer keeping 20 clean sheets out of 42. Very impressive from Steer. Just a very, very good showing from the team. Very well deserved to be going up into the Premier League. Obviously got a lot of new players coming to sign for us, and we get an £8.4 million bonus for going up to the Premier League. We'll have to see what sort of money we start with next time. But that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching, and don't miss the next one where we start our journey in the Premier League. Goodbye. Oh, one quick last thing before I go. Also signed Luka Modric for the start of next season. And Schmelzer and Besic. It's going to be a good one. See you later.